What's up, North County? We are here on the Morning Brew Wednesday morning, and we have our special guest. We have Leonard Ward with the Templeton JV Eagles. He is currently undefeated. Nobody can even touch him, and he's probably one of the best coaches the Eagles JV has had in history. Welcome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I wouldn't go that far. We've had quite a history of coaches,
but this year, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're the best coach JV has ever had this year.
This year, yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Randy. I really appreciate it.
Eric, good morning.
Hang on a second.
We got to see because we had a little snafu with no audio, so hopefully we have audio this time. We'll go like this, yes, or this.
You know sign language? You want to do the whole thing in sign language?
Yeah, we could be like, I love.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah,
we
like
love you.
Like that. So should we keep talking?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay, we're good. We got audio. We're good to go. We got people saying, "Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?" So we're gonna start this all over again.
Let's do it.
And we're gonna probably go down a different path because I don't remember, what we talked about. So we'll just talk again.
Totally.
So let's talk about you. So Leonard, you are. Obviously, we'll get into football after commercial, but let's talk about like you. I mean, what brought you here? Did you grow up here? Tell us a little bit of history about you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So no, I grew up on the East Coast. I'm an East Coast boy, born in Florida. Moved up to New York, where my dad's family's from, and went to school out there. Attended Syracuse University out there in upstate New York, and. About 11 years ago, lost my job, and education was tough, back then, and so I was single, didn't have anything to do, so I said, shoot, where am I going to move? Where can I go? And I found a job in Santa Cruz, California, man, and loaded up my Mustang with everything that I had, and drove out here, and I took a job in Santa Cruz. And
well, wait a minute, let's back up. So you grew up in New York, but I thought like New Yorkers didn't have like vehicles. Everybody used like the subway or taxis.
Yeah, that's the misconception. I mean, you got New York City, but then you got the rest of the state, and the rest of the state's really rural. I mean, I grew up on a farm. Our football field is surrounded by cornfields on two sides and a cow pasture on the other. I graduated with 67 kids in my class. Woke up 4:30 every morning milking cows. Like it's really rural up in upstate New York.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's good to know because I'm thinking, as a matter of fact, we were just watching Friends last night, and I'm thinking to myself, going, man, how could anybody live like that? I mean, they don't have a vehicle, they live in an apartment, and it's just like there's no way I could live that life.
Yeah, man, we have drive your tractor to school day. Like that's how rural it is.
I think Templeton has that.
Do they?
I think they do, and I think it's super cool. I think I encourage that. I wish they would, more kids would participate. But
yeah,
I think guys, we have a world-renowned cow milker on the phone right now. World-renowned cow milker.
We have a cow milker straight from the war room, and I wonder can you put brandy in milk? Lori, good morning.
Good morning. I thought I went deaf this morning.
I know, right? Yeah, we didn't know that, but good thing our viewers are like saying, "Hey, man, you have no audio," but we are good now.
Yeah, you guys are fine now. It's foggy this morning. It's going to be a cool day, one of our coolest days that we've had. We have nothing on the road so far. We had a couple fires yesterday. We had a home fire in Arroyo Grande. We had a little spot fire at Cal Poly. We had one or two accidents, and that's really the report. There's nothing going on right now, but as soon as I hang up, we know what's going to happen. So that's my report. And you guys can get back to your real stuff because at first I was like, is my phone messing up?
You're like, there it goes again. It's that AT&T that you got. You got to get rid of AT&T.
I had to go click on a bunch of stuff to make sure it was with that I had volume.
Right? Huh.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's real foggy this morning. Remember the deer are coming down, and just be safe when you're driving in.
Awesome. Well,
I've got no incidents on the freeway so far, but you know what's going to happen as soon as I hang up, right?
Yeah, I've been noticing the freeway's been backing up, quite a bit. Whether they've been little accidents or something like that, but they're usually cleared out pretty quickly.
Yeah, CHP's been on it. So yeah, I mean it's looking good. It's cold this morning. It's hoodie morning for sure.
Awesome. Well, Lori, we appreciate you. We appreciate you calling in and taking your time to fill us in on what's happening or not in the North County.
Yeah, and congratulations to the Diamondbacks, huh? They came back.
Lori, we're football watchers.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
When you're the Diamondbacks, I'm like, wait, is that a new football team?
I already told you I gave up on football this year.
Yeah, so are all the 49er fans, too.
Ooh, there's going to be some changes there, I think.
Yeah, Shanahan's getting fired. You watch.
Well, maybe he'll go to Denver.
Well, I don't know. You have a pretty damn good coach over there, and look how that happened.
I know.
So,
all right, you guys, be safe today and have a great day.
all right, Lori, you too. Thank you
Bye,
again.
Lori.
All right, bye.
Lori Bryant, SLO County News, 29,000 followers and growing. Eric, I think that worked out pretty good.
Did you like the sound on that one?
Yeah, she didn't break up at all.
I know.
I usually thought it was me moving,
No.
but I'm glad that, because I need to be like, oh, go back over to
New
here.
tech in the studio.
So it really has nothing to do with me. So we're good to go.
Yeah, it sounded great. I liked it.
It sounded perfect.
Yep.
All right, so we're talking about New York. We're talking about the haul over with a 1989 Ford Mustang. Was it really?
No, it was 91, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was a clunker.
Yeah, you're like, 6-cylinder. I just barely got to California.
Absolutely. I could only see out of one window. I literally everything that I owned, I packed into that thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So then you went up to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
As a teacher?
Yeah, as a teacher, and that's where I met my wife. Everybody asks, how'd you meet? It's a funny story. I walked into, we were in different classrooms. I walked into her classroom to set up a carpool with another individual, and we were exchanging numbers. And this cute little redhead comes over and takes my phone and says, "I think you should have my number." And she puts her number into my phone. And
Nice.
that's how it started. We've been married 5 years, been together for 10, and that's what's keeping me here. So
Your wife?
Yeah, she's born and raised in Templeton. So we stayed up there in Santa Cruz in the Bay Area for a little bit, and when we decided to have kids, we wanted to come down and make sure that our kids had contact with family, and was able to see Grandpa and Grandma whenever he wanted. So. It's been really nice to be down here, and I'm loving the North County.
And how long have you been in Templeton?
4 years, three and a half years. Yeah, 3.5.
3.5 years.
So almost 4.
And so the teaching credentials transfer from out of state to in state?
Yeah,
Really?
they did. Yeah, I had to take one class. It was history of California or something like that, but then it transferred right over. Yeah, pretty easy.
Kidding, probably the same. I don't know. I won't get into that. Anyways, but that's cool. That's cool. But Santa Cruz is a cool area.
It was cool.
I wouldn't want to live there. I wouldn't want to live there. My friend of mine lived in, or his parents have a beach house in Aptos.
Okay. Yep.
Which is, the house is probably the size of like this room. And, everybody has a car up there, and there's the streets are probably the size of these chairs.
Right.
And you have one car on each side. So literally, if you don't move your car, you'll never have a parking spot in front, because nobody has parking like in their driveway.
Right, totally.
Because they're all utilizing the whole front area for outside or whatever. Yep. And it's just bizarre because you sit there and drive down these roads. People got these big, like I got a truck, and it's like, I think we took our truck there once, and I was just like, oh my God, where am I going to park this thing? I think we were like somewhere up in Garden Grove that we had to park,
Right.
But anyways, but Santa Cruz is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool to visit. It's cool to visit.
Visit.
Yeah. I mean, summers are hopping. You talk about no place to park. I mean, you can't even drive. It'd take an hour to get 5 miles across town because there's just so many visitors. People come over the hill from San Jose. It's a small town that just boomed, and the streets and businesses weren't able to catch up.
Now, is your wife a teacher too down here?
So she's a speech therapist.
Okay.
So yeah. A couple years ago, we actually moved from Santa Cruz. We went to Iowa for 2 years because she wanted to get her degree in speech therapy, and that was fun.
Wow.
I'm a little sarcastic there. We were there during the polar vortex. minus 60 with the
my
winds.
God.
Yeah, you know those challenges. You have the boiling water and you toss it over your head and it comes down as snow. It's real. We did that. Like it was nasty.
No
And,
kidding.
yeah, whoever lives in Iowa, it's not a place where I want to live, man, because the winters are cold and the summers are hot and sticky and nasty. And I'm glad she got her degree. We got her degree and we got a dog, and that's the only two good things that came out of Iowa.
We got a degree and a dog.
That's the only two good things that came out of Iowa.
Oh, and did you teach there too?
I was running a clinic there. So I'm a behavior analyst, and so I ran a clinic there where kids with special needs would come in. They'd get some training, you know, on some behavior needs, and we'd train the families and the parents so when they went home that they could, you know, implement some of those strategies. And yeah, so that's what I did out there for 2 years.
Wow, and then you came from Iowa to Templeton.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
Yep. So it was quite a change for sure.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I'm glad to be here in Templeton. As I said, you know, my wife was born and raised. She was born right over by the hospital and raised here and went through school here and graduated in Eagle. And so I'm really excited to be back and be able to contribute, because I know she loved growing up here and she loved going to school in Templeton. And so you know, hopefully our kids can do the same.
Cool beans, man. Well, let's go to commercials so we can come back and we got some stuff to talk about. And of course, we got to talk about this fantastic year that the JV Eagles are having.
Yeah.
So we'll come back and chat some football.
Looking forward to it.
So there you guys. We'll be right back to the Morning Brew.
We don't just serve it up. We roast it, distill it, brew it, craft it, crank it, bake it, make it, perfect it, cure it, paint it, live it, breathe it, and then we serve it up, all in a Tascadero.
Welcome back to the Morning Brew, guys. We are here Wednesday morning, and we are talking everything North County, and we're talking football with Coach Leonard Ward with the Templeton Eagles, JV.
Morning.
Yeah, so we're having an awesome year. So before we get into this year, so tell me, like, how long we kind of took the path from New York to California to Iowa, back to California. So now we come back to California, we come back to Templeton. When did you start coaching at the high school?
Yeah, so I got a job at the high school, and I love football, and I wanted to be involved. I knew I wanted to be involved, and I didn't know what was available. So I emailed Coach Crow and Coach Farley. I said, hey, do you have an opportunity for me? And it was COVID year, and so the football was in the spring, and they were just wrapping up some COVID ball, as we say. And I was able to go out there and help out a little bit and start to learn the program. And then the next year, defensive coordinator position opened up for the JV, so I took that. And Coach Rob Ellithorpe, who's now in Tascadero coaching the quarterbacks, he was the head coach. Learned a lot from Rob. Rob's a great guy. I stay in contact with him, and big congratulations to them.
They're having a hell of a year too.
Again, right? I mean, yeah, what a year. But yeah, and he decided to move on and go up back to varsity and coach the quarterbacks there. So the head coaching job opened up last year, and I took that. And so this is my second season as head coach.
So I was trying to find the stats last year. I mean, last year wasn't a great like record wise per se, but there was some good stuff. There was some good stuff there, and I couldn't find anything. So how was the season last year? So that was your first year stepping in, taking over, a head coaching role. Is, as you've probably found out, much different than just being an assistant, because you got to know everything. You got to know everybody and where everybody's at. So tell me a little bit about last year.
Yeah, last year, we had a young team, real young team. Last year we had 3 teams in Templeton. So, we had the freshman team, and we had us, and then we had the varsity. And, varsity had a lot of the sophomores that would have been playing on JV. They had them because they were helping them. They were doing really, really well up there. And so we had, consistently about 24 guys each day. So really small team. But they played well. We went 6-4. We lost the first 2 games of the season, and we lost the last 2 games of the season, and we had a 6-game win streak there. Those 6 games, they had 4 shutouts, and so they played well. I feel if we work. The freshman team was really great because those kids that we got that played freshman last year, they're prepared. They knew the offense this year, coming in. But I feel like if we were a combined team last year, that 6-4 may have been a little different. But yeah, it was a fun year, and you mentioned the difference between assistant and head coach. People don't realize what the head coach has to deal with. Where I'm on the phone all weekend long. Grades and behaviors and injuries and playing time. It's a lot. You're not just a coach, but you're a dad in some cases. You're a mentor. You're a partner. It's more than just a coach.
And when the parents are walking out, they're coming to see you. Like if you're in your cluster of coaches and you see that parent coming walking on the field, it's like, I guess they're coming to see you. No, it's coming. Where's the head coach?
Right, totally.
And so, like you said, it's a big difference. It's a big change in people that take that step up to being the head coach. Again, you're the cherry up on top, and you cover everything down below. Like you said, from injuries to arguments, to discipline, to grades, to backlash, just everything, and it's a lot. Totally. It's a lot. So, I appreciate you being there because, nowadays, as you probably can see as well, that willingness, that volunteers of, parents in any sport is really starting to dwindle. And that's why, referees, great example, a referee position that they want to pay these guys, pretty decently, for going out there and watching football and officiating. They can't get, referees to come out there. Yeah. So, and I don't know why, where, what, but I mean, hell, I think they pay them like $600 a game or $100, $200 a game, something like that. It's pretty nice. Yeah. So, but yeah. So last year you guys were 6-4, and I remember, vividly the San Luis game, which was the last game of the year, and they were undefeated. They were undefeated, and you guys, that was a good game, and that was a powerful game, and I don't think San Luis, expected that.
Yeah, we had some motivation. We had a little chip on our shoulder. We thought the week before, we thought that we would have left Morro Bay with a W, and they absolutely just blew us out. So we were mad. We had a chip on our shoulder, and the whole theme of last week was let's be the one. They Slow entered the game at 9-0, and we wanted to be the one. We wanted to be the one in that loss column, and boys played their heart out. It was the best game that they played. They put up the best numbers of the season, but Slow was just, they were bigger, stronger, faster. The coaches schemed better than us, and they ended up with the W. But so hats off to them for a perfect season last year, 10-0 last year, and hopefully, we're going to try to replicate that this year.
So I don't want to get into this season just yet, but just because of what you just said right there, it's a 100% flip from last year to this year. Last year, Slow was 9-0. You guys were 6-4, right?
6-3 coming in.
6-3.
Yep.
This year, they're 6-4 right now. You guys are 9-0 or 8-0.
Yep.
And it's literally it's that same matchup, but and you guys are playing at home versus playing in San Luis. So it's like a complete mirror just flipped around.
Totally, man. You talk about rivalries, and we know that Morro Bay is going to be a big game. It's going to be a rivalry. We know that Atascadero is going to be a big game. They're neighbors down the road, right? But for JV at least, this slow Templeton rivalry is really coming. It's developing, and it's turning into something. They are 6-3 coming in, but they're 5-0 in league.
Right, you guys are both 5-0.
Both 5-0 in league, yeah. So
they've put up some points throughout the season. You guys have put up have given up the least amount of points. You guys are averaging less than 4 points a game given. Awesome. So like I said, that's gonna be a good, powerful game on Friday as well. It
is, yeah. I mean, their quarterback's a big guy. I think he goes maybe 220, 230. He's a real big guy. He's not afraid to run the ball. They have some really speedy, shifty backs. And each week we're looking at the receiving core and going, okay, who do we need a key on? Who is the stud? This week they have 4. This week they can throw it to any one of those guys, and they're going to catch it, and they're going to get some yards. And so I think it's going to be a high scoring game both ways. I hope that we can get our run game going. Last week we put up 422 yards, 305 came on the ground. And so if we can if we can move that ball on the ground, I think that it's going to be. Yes, it's going to be a great game.
And that's even with losing Armando Soto up to varsity too.
Yeah, we went in the last week with both of our backs down. So Armando got pulled up, and he played really, really well. So I was happy to see Armando succeed with the varsity. And Luke Stetz was out with an injury. He got hurt at halftime, or the play right before half of the previous week. So. We went into the game with 2 backup running backs and still was able to get 305 yards rushing. So.
Wow, that's awesome. So let's back up to the beginning of the season. We're starting up the season. We're getting ready for the season. What's going through your mind? What are you expecting? What did you expect from the season?
Yeah, so this year was a little different because we wanted to have a freshman team. We saw the benefit last year, and we really, really wanted to have a freshman team. Some of the other teams in the league were talking about freshman teams, even like maybe a Frosh-Soft kind of deal. And so the beginning of the season was really undecided. We had to plan for one team, but we also had to be prepared for having 2 teams. And it really just came down to numbers. We knew that we had about 28 sophomores. But we didn't know how many freshmen we were going to get because league rules, we can't talk to those 8th graders until a certain point in the season. So May came around and we were able to talk to those 8th graders and see the interest. And we were floating right around 50 total guys. But numbers aren't everything. You have to look at positions. So out of those 50, we had 27 receivers. And right. when it came down to it, we had 11 linemen. And in wing T you play 6, so right. 6 and 6 is 12. If we only got 11, we didn't have enough linemen for 2 teams, and that's what it came down to. So the beginning of the season was a little rocky. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if we were going to have 26 guys. We didn't know if we were going to have 52 guys. So
and so ultimately you guys decide to keep just a solid JV team.
Yep. That was the decision that was made, and I think it was a great decision because we have a lot of freshmen playing. Our starting center, Aiden Wickstrom, he's a freshman. Colby Sims, he's going both ways, and arguably probably the best punter in the league. I mean, it's funny. Before we go out to punt, I'll tell him, okay, 5-yard line out of bounds, and I shit you not, Randy, the ball hits at the 5-yard line and that thing goes out of bounds. I mean, he's incredible. He's probably leading the team in tackles. He's one of our backup wings. Last week he stepped in and started for us. So we have a lot of freshmen that are playing, and they're playing good ball for us.
And you have some kids that moved in to the area too that wasn't kind of on your radar at over the summer, because you kind of start planning. I'm assuming coaches start to get together in summer, start kind of prepping up, start kind of pulling the cobwebs out of the brain, getting ready for football. And so there's a few kids like your quarterback that wasn't on your radar coming into the season, right?
Yeah, we got 3 guys, and all 3 of them are starting for us. So, we have Chris Molina. He's one of our rotating wide receivers, and so he came to us. Jose Diaz, he's our starting nose guard, and he's an animal. He is just a straight up beast. Like he if you watch him play, he will occupy the center and one of the guards and still get in and get a tackle, man. Like he's a stud for us. And then obviously Coulter Tannehill, who's our quarterback. He had to learn a lot. You know, we had to turn him into a quarterback. He came to us as a wide receiver. And so, you know, everything from this is how you call a play in the huddle to this is how you take the snap count to, you know, footwork, you know, everything that he's learned, you know, it came this year because he's never played quarterback before. He really struggled in the beginning of the season, and he'll tell you this too, with learning the plays. I have a pretty extensive playbook, you know, probably, you know, 60 to 70 plays on offense. So it's pretty deep, and so there's a lot of memory. And so, you know, he didn't start until the fourth game of the season. We had Luke Olson, who started weeks 1 through 3, and did really, really well for us. But once Coulter got in the groove and he started to learn those plays, and you know, he's developed into quite a player, and he's one of the 6 that Crow's calling up to help varsity with playoffs. So really, really proud of him.
And he's a big kid.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he, 6'5"?
He claims he's 6'4", but man, I walk up to talk to him and I'm looking up. I think he's closer to about 6'5", 6'6", and he's only growing. You know, he came up to me yesterday and says, "How can I put on weight?" And I said, "Bro, you need to be eating 6,000 calories a day, like
At
you
least.
know, because he's gonna be a big kid. His arm strength is incredible.
Oh, he's got a cannon. He can throw that thing.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. So
Accurately.
Accurately, yeah.
You know, I mean, not just like, hey, I hope it gets to you. I mean, it's like end zone. I mean, I think I was over in Morro Bay at the passing tournament, and I mean, just corner shot from 30 yards out. It was amazing. I was like, holy crap, this kid is just, you know, for real.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Morro Bay. I was actually reconsidering, you know, what our focus was going to be, because, you know, we're running the wing tee and we run the football a lot, but we went into Morro Bay and went 5-0. You know, we put up, you know, 22 touchdowns and only gave up 2. That weekend, had a lot of interceptions, and so I'm sitting back going, man, are we going to turn into a throwing team here? But no, we didn't get away from the basics. We still pound that ball, and throwing is really our secondary. You know, we only throw the ball maybe 9-10 times a game.
And that's what makes the wing tee so elusive, because of the fact that you can do both out of it. You know, you're obviously weighing heavier on the run, but you have a quarterback that can throw it. You have to have that attack in the back of your mind. The defensive coach has to have that attack in the back of the mind, to where, hey, they don't give it, he can sling that ball out here, so they can't press and can't, you know, squeeze up on you, you know, as much as they probably would like, thinking that you're going to be running the ball 90% of the time.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's exactly right. I mean, some teams where, you know, I feel the only way to stop us is to crowd that box, get 9 guys in the box. Teams can't do that because of the threat to throw, and I think that's huge. You know, last week, you know, 116 yards through the air for a wing tee offense, like that's amazing. So
you start the roll for the season. You're beating teams. Now, when I say beating teams, let me go to these. So you got let's see. We've got, you guys went to Kalinga. No, this is Templeton. Where's my JV? You guys are right here. So you had Morro Bay last week, 37-7. So you had Pioneer Valley 36-0, 33-7 against Atascadero. 22-0 against Cabrillo, 28-14 against Santa Maria. That's the most you guys have ever, you know, given up. 35-0 against West, 20-0 against Firebaugh, and 21-0 against East Bakersfield, and then 40-6 against Centennial. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys have given up 34 points. You guys have scored 272 points. Against 34. So like I said, that's less than 4 points a game.
Yeah, one of the great things about our team is, you know, everybody's playing. We have 50 guys on the sideline, but everybody plays, you know. So, yes, we've given up 34 points, but our starters have only given up 6.
But so you're, like I said, you're rolling this. You're beating teams. And then at what point did you go, holy crap, man, we're going to have a perfect season? Yeah, you know, I should have said, let's not count the eggs before they're hatched.
Don't jinx.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, so far, I mean, you've had a pretty impressive run. the team looks dominant, on the field. I mean, and it's a collectively, players and coaches. I mean, there's, a lot of people can say, oh, well, you got stud players. Well, yeah, you can have stud players, but you got to know where to put these stud players, and that's where it comes back on the coaches. So at now you're sitting, coming up to the last game of the season, you guys are sitting with a, 9-0 record. And so, like, what's gone through your mind in this last week, kind of reflecting on the season?
Yeah, so, I would say that we didn't talk about record. We didn't talk about wins, losses until after our 6th win. It's my philosophy as a coach is number one, to prepare these guys for varsity, and so we're running JR's offense, we're running Coach Crow's defense. We want to prepare these guys for varsity. And so if I can do that, great. Number two, safety. Return these guys back to home the way that they came to me, so limit injuries. Those were my top two. Number three was have fun. These kids, a lot of them, they don't have, family members, they don't have, someone to lean on. This is their outlet, this is their release. And so if they can come and they can have fun and enjoy themselves, then that's what it is. And so those were my three focuses throughout the first, several weeks. But we got to Cabrillo and we got that 6th win. And I told him, I said, I've coached several sports, coached baseball, coached wrestling. And I told him, I said, you know what? This feels great. I've never had a team personally that I've been on that has started a season 6-0 in any sport. And the kids started to hear that, and and it was almost like light bulbs came off, and they're like, "Holy crap, we're undefeated. We're 6-0. We need to. It would be awesome to be 7-0." And it was just 1 week at a time. Mm-hmm. And so for the last 4 weeks, that's been our philosophy. It's one game at a time. On Monday, when we review film, the last thing I say to the kids before they go up, we're 0-0. Let's go get that first win. And they've bought into it. They really have.
That's awesome. So we're at 8:20 right now. And so we've got to go to a commercial.
Let's do it.
So let's go to commercial. We'll wrap up football. We'll talk a little bit, of some stuff happening. If maybe go over the police report. We always want to find out if we know anybody on it. But we'll go to commercial real quick. So we will be right back to the Morning Brew with Coach.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Welcome back to the Morning Brew, guys. We are talking all things North County, and we have Coach Ward with us with the Templeton Eagles, JV Eagles, and we are talking things football too. So, and having a great season.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So pretty excited for Friday, man. So tell me what this week's looking like.
Yeah, so we have two themes this week going into it. Something the kids has really liked is I have a story for the week, and real quick, I'd like to tell you the Atascadero story just because the kids really loved it. So every week there's a story and a theme. And have you ever seen YouTubed golden eagles and how they kill their prey? So these eagles, they come down and they pick up everything from lamb and sheep and wolves and foxes, anything they can. I mean, these big animals, they pick them up and they fly towards a cliff at 160 kilometers an hour. And they take that animal and they throw it into the side of the cliff. And that's how they eat their prey. And so our theme for Atascadero week was, let's be the golden eagle, let's pick up those hounds and let's throw them into the side of the mountain and let's eat that prey, right?
Wow.
So
now I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, every week is a different theme. But anyway, this week is there's two of them. It's let's finish and let's be the one. You know, as I was saying last year, we came into the game 6-3. We wanted to be the one. We wanted to be the one to put that L in Slow's column, and I know that they're doing the same. I absolutely know. They had a bye last week, so they have 2 weeks to prepare for us. I know that they want to be the one. They want to be the one in that column, and so our second theme is don't let them be the one.
There you go. And it's pretty exciting, man. It's like, just got to get through. I can't wait for the varsity game because then I'll know whether we won or whether we lost. You know what I'm saying?
Win or lose. This is a win for us. This whole season has been a win for us. You know, there's so many positive things that have happened. You know, the team camaraderie. This is the first year I've ever coached. I've coached for 21 years. I've never had a season where I didn't lose a kid to grades. This year we had all 50 guys. They had passing grades. We didn't lose anyone.
Congratulations! That's a big feat right there.
It's huge. It's huge, you know. And, going back to the theme for the season, I think kids are having fun. And so, you know, we'd like to get the W, but it's not all about the W. You know, in my personal opinion, I think that all those kids have already won. You know, this is a season that they're going to remember for a very, very long time. And I'm happy to be, you know, a small part of that.
Yeah, you're part of their journey.
Yes.
Part of their journey. Any kid you want to shout out as far as like some, you know, your captains or?
Yeah, so we rotate captains. You know, it's a week-to-week basis. I like to spread the wealth, you know, whoever's stepping up that week. So we rotate guys. But, I mean, there's definitely been some guys that have played really, really well for us. Our starting line is amazing. We have a guy that at right tackle in Nick Capacci that we, 6 weeks ago, we turned him from a tight end to a tackle. Never played tackle before. We turned him into a tackle. Garrett Davis, our left guard, he started out, he played fullback all of his life. And, you know, I saw something in him and I said, you know, hey, we got to have you as guard, man. And he said, you know, to take a ball out of a kid's hands, you know, you're running the ball and to put him on the line, you think you'd get some pushback. Not Garrett. He said, Coach, whatever I can do to help the team. And that's been the mentality for us. And so I already mentioned Aiden Wickstrom at center, Landon Reifers at left tackle, and Gavin Renteria at right guard. I mean, those guys, you don't rush the ball for 305 yards in a game without those five. You know, it just doesn't happen. Will Capacci, he's our tight end, and again, we like to run to his side because we know that Will's going to get that down block and we're going to run right off him. So,
well, you know, it's funny with Aiden. So Aiden's dad was a center in Templeton. And so last year when Aiden came out to play football, first time, big kid, you know, full head of hair, and they're just like, hey, well, what do you want to play? I don't know, Coach. Okay. Well, he goes, my dad was a center. I'm like, perfect. Right there, because your dad can help you when you're at home, you know, away from there. And he just, like I said, he just kind of gravitated to it, and he was played center last year. Yeah. You know, and so a lot of these kids, you know, that first year, you know, that second year they get like the bulb, you know, comes on. You know, it's like, oh, I get it. You know, it's like, you know, it's like nowadays the kids don't start, like when my boys played, when Robbie and Ryan played, they started off at Bantams. So they got all the bugs out, you know, all the figuring out, you know, through Bantams, you know, and juniors. And by the time we started going through the ranks and the years, they already knew the tackling. They already knew the stance. They already knew the assignments. All that stuff was already gone, so now you can focus on football. But now as the new kids, you know, parents are waiting a lot later in their career or their age to put them in football. So sometimes it takes, you know, that year, and then when they come back in it again, they remember from last year. They're like, oh, this isn't so bad, you know. And so it's cool to see like Jose and you know, Colby's been one of those kids that's just been a stud from the get go, and he grew like 9 feet from his 7th grade year to his 8th grade year, and it looks like he grew another 9 feet from last year to this year. So, like I said, congratulations on all that stuff. You know, you and the kids and the coaches, man. Like I said, we were talking about it before off camera. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. You know, time away from the family, but it's almost one of those, you know, those things that it's fun, you know, and you accept it. But at the end of the season, you're like, all right, what a ride, huh?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is. The time away from the family is tough, you know, especially with little ones. And so if you don't mind, I did write down the coaches' wives' names here. So I just want to shout out, these women because, they really are taking the roles, and, they're cooking dinner, they're doing the shopping, it's a lot. So if you're out there, Carrie Krieger, Julie Davis, April Silva, Monica McGill, Tana Lynn Tilton, and Bonnie Glennesk. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate you letting me have your husbands to coach, and we got one more week, so we're going to return it back to you.
The coaches. I mean, we didn't talk about the coaches.
Yeah, so we have Robbie Doty, your son.
Yep.
He's helping. He's coaching our special teams and our linebackers. We have Caleb Davis. He's coaching our secondary and our receivers. We have James Tilton. He's our offensive line coach. Josh Krieger is our defensive line coach. Chad McGill is our running backs coach. And Sean Silva is our defensive coordinator. Probably the best defensive the best defensive coordinator I've ever worked for. The schemes that guy draws up is amazing. As I mentioned, our starters have given up 6 points. 6 all season. And that's coach's scheme. Yes, we have the players. Yes, they're studs, but without the scheme, I don't think that happens. So huge kudos to him.
100%, man. Well, like I said, congratulations on a great season, regardless win, lose, or draw on Friday. But like I said, I'm pretty positive. Take that W home.
Let's do it. That's the goal. We want that, but as I said, if it doesn't happen, we've already won, man. We've already won.
That's awesome. Well, we got a couple things to talk about here in the North County. One, I want to talk about. I want to read up on the Paso Robles arrest reports.
Let's do it.
I always like to look and see if I know anybody, especially from Templeton, because we got. But a lot of these arrest reports are stupid. Like, parking violations. So this guy, David, gets, blasted out here for parking violation. But, of course, he had a failure to appear and, bench warrant. But nobody is from Templeton. So, except for there's one kid on here, Dalton Lone. I know him. Yeah, driving on a suspended. Dalton, come on, you can't do that, buddy. Let's see. Anybody else? Narcotics? No. Bruce, I don't know him. He's 65 years old. Bench warrant. A lot of bench warrants. I think we can help them with, behavioral skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could probably figure that out.
What's up with the parking in this county anyways? This is the only county I've gotten a ticket because I backed into a parking spot. Like what?
Where?
I was in slow in the parking garage, and I instead of pulling in straight, I backed in, and I come out and I got a ticket for backing into a parking spot. What
Really?
is that? Yeah. What's up with that?
Well,
that's SLO County.
That's
for you.
SLO County.
That's the lowest SLO.
That's SLO County, and it's like the parking in Paso. It's. I literally went into Goodwill. I was going to find something that was on the counter, right? They always have like these little trinkets on the counter. I needed something. I'm like going, the parking thing was like way down there. And to be completely honest, at the time I didn't 100% know how to use it. My kids always do. And so I'm like, and it's like 9:30 in the morning. And I'm thinking, okay, there's all these parking spots are open. The town's not kind of getting started. So I'm like, all right, I pull in right there real quick. I run across the street, and I kid you not, I was in there for less than 1 minute. As I come walking back out, the parking guy is walking off, and I've got a $55 ticket on my window.
Jeez.
For
Ridiculous.
1 minute, man. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I mean, you don't even get like a little bit of like a, hey, first half an, actually, that's what my wife said. She goes, the first half an hour or whatever is free, or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. I'm like, no, I didn't. But I also don't know how to do the thing,
Right.
to where I can not get a ticket. So from that point on, I stopped going to Paso. I started going to anything in Atascadero or Templeton. And, if I was going to Paso, somebody else was driving.
There you go.
Because I'll probably get another ticket. And I didn't go down lightly with it. So I paid it all in pennies.
Nice.
So... but there's a lot of stuff going on. We could probably skip through here and put these onto next week or on to tomorrow. But one I do want to give a big shout out to Wendy Lewis. So Wendy Lewis is part of Echo Shelters, the El Camino. Gosh darn it,
El Camino Homeless Shelter.
Yeah, El Camino Homeless Shelter. So that's the Echoes. So congratulations. So women from all over the county showed up to share their support with these incredible women who make our community better for everyone. The inaugural Women of Influence North County luncheon was held in Atascadero, and this year there was, I think there was 15 ladies that was nominated, but 4 nominations were Jennifer Adams, Wendy Lewis, Lisa Majors, and Jessica Steele. And the award for 2023 Women of Influence was announced. The very first recipient of the award in 2021, Angela Siniceros, she was announced it, and Wendy Lewis is the 2023 Woman of Influence Award recipient. So congratulations, Wendy. Over there, you guys do a great job over there. We've been fortunate to be partnered up with them a couple different times. Their Empty Bowls program and their walk home event, I believe it was a couple months ago.
Long walk home.
So congratulations over there, and we actually did a walkthrough. Have you ever been over there?
No, I haven't.
It's actually pretty. It was. You kind of get in your mind of what something's going to look like or what somebody's going to look like before you actually, are engaged. And I thought it was something completely different. We walked through it. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. It was the homeless in Atascadero, not the one in Paso. There was just a lot of cool stuff that the residents were doing. They have their garden outside. They have some cool bikes that they built, bicycles, like some chopper, the old Schwinn. Nice. Remember the old Schwinn with the 8 handles, chopper bikes, the cruisers. And but it was just a really cool, facility. And it was, like I said, it was something that I had in my mind something completely different, something probably way far deeper and gruesomer than what that was. Right. So
it takes special people to do that, man. I mean, the need is out there. Those families need support. So hats off to everyone who's volunteering for that. I mean, it's a need. So thank you volunteers for what you do.
And probably something that's pretty close in the lines of what you do with the behavioral and stuff too, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody struggles with behavior. Everybody has behavior. Even us as adults. So it's near and dear to my heart. Just helping kids. That's what I want to do. If I can, the more kids that I can impact, I think that that the happier that I'm going to be in the end. So that's my goal. Just to reach kids, man.
So I keep going back to football just because I like football. But so after this week, what happens? What happens to Ward after this week? What path does Ward go down for the next however many months?
I pick up my son from daycare.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my wife has done a lot. She's picking up after school care. She's cooking dinner. She's getting him ready for bed. She's doing a lot. So I look forward to taking that on. Helping out more in the afternoons. I got to get in the gym, man. Football season. I always gain 30 pounds during football season. So
you are preaching to the choir, man.
Right?
My office is in the gym.
Yeah.
And I don't go to it.
Right.
I haven't been upstairs to work out since the beginning of football season.
Right. It's just too much time. Yeah.
It's like I come in early and I was like, okay, cool, this and that. You get on your computer first. I'm just going to do something real quick. Next thing you know, it's like, day's gone again.
Totally. So, yeah, just some family time. We're expecting in January. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
that.
So
Awesome.
Little girl coming. So just preparing for that. We're trying to buy a house right now. We're renting, so we want to get into a home. So just family stuff, man. I'm looking forward to getting back into that.
Now, are you going trick-or-treating? Are you taking the kids, Oakley, trick-or-treating this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the spot that you're going to go to?
So I think we have a couple picked out. Last year we went to a couple villages here in Templeton where the in-laws live. We have some friends that live in Santa Margarita, and I hear that the trick-or-treating...
Margarita.
I hear that trick-or-treating there is hot. So we're going to head out there, and last year one of our friends says, they get like pillowcases of candy out there. So go hang out there. But
San Miguel, the housing tract. That big old housing tract there?
In where?
In San Miguel?
Oh, no, Santa Margarita.
Oh, Santa Margarita.
Yeah,
Santa Margarita.
Yeah,
Oh, Margarita.
Yeah.
Interesting,
so
really.
We have some friends that live out there, so we're going to go and hook up with them. Oakley picked out, he wanted to be a dinosaur. So we made him a dinosaur costume. So that's
Now, are you
cool.
going to dress up too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Halloween's one of the favorites. So
What are you going to be?
Well, so I haven't fully decided. I'm going to wait until after this week. So last year we had the slow game, right? And there were some questionable calls. So I went as a blind referee. So I had my walking stick and my sunglasses. So we'll see how this week goes to see if I break that costume back out.
So if anybody wants to really view the game and kind of pick out in their mind what you're going to be at the end of the game, they'll kind of be able to guess. Maybe we'll be like guess Ward's costume for Halloween this year.
Yep, Stegosaurus or blind referee.
Awesome. Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again for coming in. We appreciate what you do with the kids. Like I said, it's a thankless, position, but like I said, I know exactly that it's not, it's everything, it's on your shoulders, and, we appreciate everything you do with the kids and all the stuff that nobody sees, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the lines of what you guys do.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate the recognition. I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate the community, man. The community has shown up to support these boys, and every week we have more fans in the stands for JV games. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
It's awesome. Well, congratulations. Good luck Friday, and let's see a great game.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to What's Up North County Morning Brew, this Wednesday edition with Coach Ward from the Templeton JV Eagles team. Follow them. Come out this Friday, and they are on the run for a perfect season, and let's go root them on. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Hanson Enterprises, El Red Rooster, Pacific 805 Spas, Story Termite Pest Control, 5-Star Rain Gutters, Airflow Filter Services, Borhone Auto Center, Paso Robles Furniture, and Kennedy Club Fitness, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Veux-tu danser avec moi?
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
We don't just serve it up, we roast it, distill it, brew it, craft it, crank it, bake it, make it, perfect it, cure it, paint it, live it, breathe it, and then we serve it up, all in Atascadero.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.